There we go. Right, welcome guys. Monday morning, live London session trading. So let's go through what we're going to be looking at today. Dollar is the first one which I'm looking at here. So one thing we always have to be aware of is why things are moving. Obviously, what's moving around it now. The US dollar, for those of you who don't use it as like one of your core conferences. So, you obviously want to be obviously marking up your key levels. 500 is approaching. Now, this is interesting. So if we look at this on a 30 minute, we've already rejected it once. Are we going to reject it again? If we do, then this is obviously going to push dollar up. Now, what's this going to push higher? It's going to push, obviously all of the anti-dollar pairs up, all the commodity based. And then it's also going to push some of these yen pairs up. Yen has been on a roll. Like, look at this. It has been absolutely flying. Very, very, scary to try and buy this anywhere. But obviously, so what I would do personally, as obviously yen again, this is the second day running. It's the strongest pairs. If you look at it, the closest one to it at the moment is euro. Um, so you obviously need to be aware of this. And almost write yen pairs off because why are you going to try and buy? You can't because just you just can't try and buy them, So where all these yen pairs are, I just wouldn't want to risk trying to buy them right now until trend, changes. Now, what does this do? This obviously helps us because it takes them off the table. All right, so that's one thing. So what I'm looking for here is to see how dollar is gonna react around this 97,500 area. Are we going to get a pullback, or are we going to get a continuation? If we are going to get a continuation, we're going to be looking into more risk risk off assets. Yeah, so we obviously want to be looking into that, so for example, buying against the dollar. USD CAD is one that I'm monitoring at the moment. If you look at this on a 4 hour time frame here, all right, we've obviously had a lot of support here. All right. So this one sparks my interest here because we've obviously had a lot of support. Yes, Asia has driven down massively, and obviously that's quite a lot of movement for Asia. But I'm looking potentially. Let's just have a look at this on a daily. Yeah, if you look, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. And obviously we've almost moved, well, probably two thirds of obviously the whole of yesterday's movement. So that to me might, limit some downside movement. So I would like to monitor this around this area and then potentially look to buy this. Be up into this Asian high here. It isn't a huge move, but I actually think we could probably push it a bit further. I'd like a 1 to 2. So if we do one to three, something like this, let's just have a look at what we would be potentially targeting. Yeah, I think these highs would be perfect. Um, I think that would be good. That's what I'd be looking at there. Potentially move this down to about 20 pips. This would be a very good trade for us to take. Really, really, like this rejection here. So look on 15 minute. We've obviously got a lot of confluence here. Confluences here. There's a strategy in a circle called Tokyo Drift, and obviously this would be a perfect scenario here. So I'm going to send this in to the inner circle. This is one that I'm going to look to take. So let me just put this here. This thing needs to go away. There we go. So put this in there. There we go. Uh, this is how long it takes me to post a trade. Takes me a while. There we go. USD CAD. Now let's wait and see, obviously, how this one gets on. Perfect. Nice, nice entry. Got obviously lots of reasons why we're stacking up here. So let's wait and see how this one works out, and then obviously we can make sure that we are having another profitable day, which is what we're all interested in. Yeah, everyone wants another profitable day. Perfect. Right. So that is obviously one that was my main one, which I was looking at this morning. What is this banking on that we get this rejection here? All right. So not only will I be monitoring USD CAD, I'm going to be monitoring the dollar index, because if this holds, it's going to pull everything up. You watch like USD JPY start to hold, all the yen pairs are going to start to drag up too. So the other ones which are going to drag up Euro AUD, GBP AUD, right? Because AUD is a commodity-based pair, they get AUD is going to weaken. So like we were trading yesterday, I actually closed these out before I went to bed. I actually like these two. So if we were looking here, let's just go back to basic. Oh, sorry. Let's go back to basics here. Let's have a look at this on a higher time frame. See obviously what is happening here. We're driving this downside. Let me just get rid of some of this rubbish as well. We're driving to the downside. We've obviously had these um, equal highs. Yeah, right. If we're monitoring trend, you could argue we're holding it right now. So I think gotta probably move that a little bit up there so it tracks most of them. You could argue this broke out, and now we're coming up as that retest here. Hourly we're technically still trending to the upside, because obviously this would be our last previous low. We obviously haven't achieved it yet, but you could also argue that we've got a mini head and shoulders happening here. Let me move this back up because I'm used to it up here. We push this one down here like that. There we go. So you could argue we've got this happening here, and this is on our hourly clone. Just going to show you. I don't normally trade off head and shoulders, but this is would be an extra confluence here. If we're in a downtrend, you could also put a Fibonacci. There's loads of confluences here. Look at that. So we've got broken out of trend. That's one confluence. We've got head and shoulders. That's two confluence. We've got, it would equate to the Fibonacci. That's three confluences. Let me just delete these as well. We have also, so that's three. Yeah, it's running, nicely, rejecting the channel four. There's loads and loads and loads here. So that's obviously what like you could argue once you get to a 30-minute, that's when trend is changing here. We're also challenging this, volume here. We're challenging Asian high. There's loads here. So, but we obviously need that confluence of we need that confluence. I'd want stops to be above there, so we'd have to do nice 1 to 2. Let's just zoom out again. We can see what's going on. Yeah, I think this would be doable, 100%. Um, so we've obviously got to wait and see how this 15-minute candle closes, but obviously this would be another one here. And what would I be looking for here? I will be looking for the 15-minute to hold. So let me write this in. So 15. minute to reject and uh, hold average volume before entry. There we go. All right, so this would be my kind of next one would be here. Let me post this in as well. AED USD. But again, you've got to be monitoring the DXY chart here. All right, we have to monitor it because if we don't, then obviously we are um, no, it's posted now. So that's our number two. It's our number two trade. That's what we like. Right. Perfect. And then we've just got to wait and see how this one works out. And then obviously we can hopefully capitalize on this very, very nicely. That's what we want. There we go. Perfect. Um, so let's have a look at a bit of a mixture, now we've obviously gone through the news here, obviously had some positive pound data. We've obviously got euro coming out. And then later on, this is the key one here, right? 'Cause this sometimes gives us a little bit of an indication as to what is going to happen on Friday for non-farm payroll. I don't think expectations are very, very high. There isn't a lot of jobs they've got to achieve, and obviously we've got manufacturing PMI as well. So it is going to be quite a key afternoon. We've got obviously this is slightly earlier, this is slightly later, but like I said, I hate when news comes out at 3 because it's just not good. So the other ones that we were looking at were Euro AUD and GBP AUD. I probably prefer GBP AUD better just because we're in a better position. We know that pound is quite strong, but obviously, again, we can't forget we're in once you get into our territory, we probably have made a new high here. 4 hour, still in a downtrend. We got a lot of support here. We've also got, I'd say, a key level around 400 here. So we'd want that to break. So if we were to have a look on the 30-minute, I would actually want this to break before entering. So if we do get a really nice push up, I'd want this to do something like, there we go. I'd want this to do something like this where we push all the way up, we break through. So we break through Asia and we break through Asian high and we break through this key level here. We're breaking out of London, so there would automatically be three confidences there to take this trade. And then obviously having that continuation here. Think about resistance as a brick wall. All right, the more kind of a run up you've got, the more easier it might be to obviously push through it. So once we're sort of targeting these areas here, as you can see, there's obviously more of a run up to push, through it. There's more momentum there for this to continue. Whereas when they're quite close, if you look at here, we've got, London opening range, that's one brick wall, Asian high, two brick wall, massive key level here, three brick walls. So we obviously would want to have this extra bit of a confluence there. So I'm going to put this one in, waiting for a break of all three levels of resistance. Oh, resistance first. There we go. Hopefully, yeah. There we go. Put this in there as well. GBP AUD. There we go. Right, I think that'll be my three. Does anyone have any questions? Any questions? I've got three here, I think. Uh, Ozzy Mandiaz, good morning. Steve, morning. Yes, it will be. Does anyone have any questions at all, or should we end it here? And then obviously, just to let you guys know, I'm obviously starting. I'm going to be doing a lot more education in the inner circle. It's completely free. So we're going to start with a live tonight, and then I'm probably going to try and go live every single day, probably for an hour, and I'll go through one topic of my course, in obviously a lot of detail. So obviously everyone gets that. They can ask questions. I want to make sure that we are, the group, that is giving the most value out of everyone. iPad 2. Hi Dan, new to the group. Where is the education material? So there's a few obviously pinned. Well, I think there's about five pinned strategies in the inner circle, and obviously make sure you attend the lives. That they're all going to be recorded, and obviously I'll put them in, so it doesn't matter if you miss them. I'm going to pin everything as well. Um, yeah. So what I like to do, because obviously we're completely transparent here. I obviously like to preempt. I do want everyone in a circle to obviously learn to put their own kind of trades on, and obviously understand USD CAD starting to move nicely. AUD USD just got a monitor. So I really, really want everyone to understand, what they're kind of looking for here. So we want to be knowing what to look at, why to look at it, as opposed to just writing in some numbers and not really understanding anything. It isn't what I'm interested in. It's not going to work ever. So obviously you guys need to be confident of obviously entering on your own. Um, Joe, all good. Right, perfect. If everyone's all good, I will, yeah, carry on prepping. I'm probably going to look for one more potential, and obviously I'll post that in the inner circle. But yeah, hope you guys are enjoying these. I enjoy going live, and obviously showing you guys what I'm looking at. So yeah, let's make sure that we have a good day today, and also just make sure that you are monitoring the DXY, because it's very going to be very, very important to obviously monitor that today or this morning, because you yeah, we just want to make sure that 97,500 doesn't break. So yeah, have a good one, guys.